Hey, welcome back folks. Out here at the tiny house project. As you can see, it's a beautiful day out here, and so I'm out here pounding some nails and making some progress. Now the job at hand today is to get the sheathing up on the side of the building. So this sort of functions as two parts. Provides some structural rigidity, also is going to keep the elements out. So what I'm doing is going along and basically laying it horizontally, and that way one sheet of plywood is going to be connecting as many studs in the wall as possible. So I'm laying it horizontally, starting at one end, obviously working the other, and we're going to stagger it. I'm not going to cut out the windows ahead of time. I'm not going to measure and cut the windows ahead of time. I'm going to put the plywood right over the windows, cut out the windows after. So that's what you'll see me doing. As for where I got this plywood from, and you may wonder that because it's painted on one side, is I got this from an old dance studio. So this stuff was danced all over, but for our sake, it's pretty well brand new. I think it was only installed about a year ago. So got a pretty sweet deal on that. So figured what the heck. So that's the task at hand today. Yeah, let's get down to it. All right, so I just cut this edge off here. Now, the cut edge you just made, or I just made, is never going to be as straight as a factory edge. So always put the factory edge downwards along the other factory edge. So just keep that in mind. What's going on here? Obviously something's not fitting. Man, I must be having one of those days. What's going on here? 40, what'd I say? 45 and, yeah, 3. What's this then? 45 and a half, it should fit. All right, let's check on that nail gun. Much better. All right, where was I? Window. Running out of power or pressure already. Joys of being off grid out here. You have to use a small compressor and everything takes longer. That's all right. Now, you're probably noticing this gap here. That would not fly in a normal construction of a house, but I'm trying to conserve plywood here, and so I'm gonna fit a small piece in. There's no joint right here along this piece of plywood. This beam actually goes to about here, so I can still get lots of nailing in to prevent the shearing motion. So I'm not concerned for this. If it was a house, I would never do that. So for those who are gonna pipe up, that's the deal. Whoa. Now we're playing with fire. For how long is the real question. Not much longer. Yeah, we'll let her air up again. Hand bomb is good for me, I suppose. Well, moving right along, let's see how we're doing. So I got both walls all done, as you can see. Just have to cut out the windows, and I'm working on this end. Normally you wouldn't lay plywood on a building vertically, you would lay it horizontally, but in this case I have such a big opening, I wanted to use one piece to cover as much of the opening as possible. So this way it'll hopefully prevent it from doing this. So gonna finish nailing this off, cut another one over here, then I'm just gonna have a little piece here in the middle, and that's really gonna wrap that side up. And then I gotta start thinking about this side. Now, before I can do this side, I gotta remember I gotta bring the wood stove in here. So don't let me forget. Before I put those posts back in, those studs, or cripple studs, don't let me forget to bring the wood stove in here. So here I go. Hit a nail, now it's dull. And dusty. For a longer blade, it's a little coarse, but the one we're using. Okay. Yeah, I know I should unplug this before I put the blade in. Well, folks, after a pretty exhausting day out here, I think I've got it licked. So I've got all the plywood up on the walls. I've got all the window openings cut out, and things are coming along quite nicely. So I'm at the point now where I can start to put house wrap on the building, tape in the windows, or I can head up to the roof. And I think that's the plan. So I've got a few sheets of plywood left over, but I'll have to go get some more. I'm going to throw the plywood up on the roof probably next time you see me, and I'll probably do a bit of calculating so I can get the best coverage possible. But that way, if it does rain, which I think it's supposed to later in the week, I'll have some protection from the elements. So pretty good progress today. This really added a structural element, so really strengthened up the building. So I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit that playlist up if you're interested to see how I got to this point, and also subscribe. That really helps my content. Hello. It really helps my content get out there. And even if you don't, I appreciate you watching. And until then, we'll see you guys all next time.